And that 1/4 to a 1/2 inch is all we need in order to continue on with the gun drill. So let's get that everything set up for that. Now let's get this out of the chuck and see how close to the center we stayed the whole time. Pretty close. I'd say we drifted maybe 1/2 millimeter or so. If I had the lathe running faster, it would actually wander less, and I could advancing at the same rate. I do have to move the camera angle when I'm doing the gun drill because being left-handed, I want my left hand on the tailstock to push it forward. So I have to stand on the opposite side of the lathe. I also had a hand up close to the tip of the, or the opening of the piece of wood just to help steady the drill bit so it has a better chance of running down the center without wandering. All right, here's everything bored through. Now it's time to start to widen out the bores, but also first, because they're not all perfectly centered on both ends, usually when the drill bit goes through it can wander a little. I'm actually going to set it up between centers again and straighten out the wobble. The bore itself is straight, it's just not perfectly in line. So this way the outside is concentric to the bore line. And that way when I set it up to turn later, everything's running true. Luckily, none of the pieces wandered a lot, so this amount of cleanup should be fairly minimal, but when I flip on the lathe, you'll be able to see over here, it's a little off center. from the bore. So we're just going to clean that up, and we're going to do that to all the pieces as needed. And it's just that little bit. There's plenty of material on all of them that I could take a lot off, and for the final size, it won't really matter. So, in order to do the next part, which is widening out the bores to their final dimensions, I kind of need some extra support. So we're going to be using this steady rest. It basically acts like a set of wheels on the outside so that as it turns, it keeps everything steady. And part of that is I don't have gun drills in the larger diameter, so there's going to be a lot of back and forth with the drill bit. And that kind of pressure back and forth really kind of takes a lot out of the wood and stresses it a lot. This way, it still keeps it running true and keeps everything safe while I'm working at the open end.